Welcome to On the Way to School, your 6-minute daily boost for educators and administrators. I'm Christopher S. Dennis, and today, let's elevate our journey together. All right. Welcome to On the Way to School. Not gonna lie, this is pre-recorded because I am in Nashville for my daughter's wedding. I probably won't be able to really record in real time. So, hey, I'm going to say happy Friday anyway. Made it to the end of a week. So I hope everything is going great. And, I'll tell you about my actual Friday next week when I can, give you a real report. So, but I guarantee I'll still be excited tomorrow. Okay. So I wanted to do a follow up to the previous conversation on just kind of the state of equity and inclusion work in schools and kind of build on the concept of influence and authority. So my graduate background is in both higher education administration and policy, as well as a master's in organizational management. And I started my first grad degree in organizational management. I actually started that program my senior spring of undergrad. So my school had a master's program that was in the evening, and I was able to be accepted and kind of enroll in that while finishing the last semester of school for undergrad, and then just start these graduate courses. So my entire professional journey has included this kind of framework of organizational structure and kind of this management construct. So I bring that into equity work, and it's allowed me to try to understand how to be organized in such a way that, equity inclusion work is structured parallel to the other structures of the organization in a school. So I always talk about social justice and equity work in schools in 3 buckets: policy, curriculum, and programming. And I break it down in those 3 ways because I've found that those are 3 different areas where you need different types of energy to be effective. And it's helpful to communicate those different tracks so that people can understand how to utilize your partnership. Okay. So I always, articulate the 3 in the following ways. So the first, policy is your mandate. Policy is your mandate and your structure for accountability. So without a proper policy or mandate, people have no idea where you plan on taking them, what the expectations are, and the do's and the don'ts. So your policy allows you to do that. So that could be a mission statement, a DEIJ statement, a diversity and inclusion commitment. Whatever those things are, it's your job as the administrator to find them within your policies, make sure they're communicated to people, and then you uphold the essence of those policies. Okay. Otherwise, people will not know the expectations before them. And you always want to share the policies at the top of the year so that people can understand where we're going and what we're doing here. Okay. It's actually unprofessional to tell someone they violated something that they didn't even know was a barrier, or crossed the line that they didn't know was there. Okay. So policy is number 1. Programming is the exchange of perspectives, or a view into someone's perspective. So I consider programming the windows and mirrors of kind of corporate or institutional equity work. That's where you have a guest speaker come in. That's where you may have a program, whatever demonstration you have of showing aspects of identity, justice, and diversity, where there's no gradable expectation on the other side. It's not a sequential event. It is basically a one-off. People can come, receive information, have a dialogue, potentially learn a little bit, and kind of go on about their way. The programming is very helpful because if you just need to introduce people to things in a passive way, it can be helpful. It can be very helpful. That also includes, in some cases, meeting spaces. So, affinity groups, employee resource groups, things of that nature are considered programming. While educating and teaching does happen within them, programming is essentially an active exchange of views and perspectives. Okay. And the third is curriculum. Curriculum is the actual, developmentally, arc of a curriculum. It's a journey where you have expectations, you have a purpose for learning, you're preparing for conversation, you have text or something that you're using to demonstrate, the content. And the curriculum is the learning. And the curriculum can happen, of course, in the classroom in a traditional unit or lesson plan. It can also happen during professional development or a parent education night. It can also happen during an orientation or a type of training. Okay. So across those three components, policy, curriculum, and programming, different skill sets are helpful. So if you are building your equity and inclusion office and you want to take care of those three things, the person who is really good at programming and can put together an amazing roster and lineup in a vibrant, 45 to 90 minute experience where everybody's engaged and enjoying something is an asset, because programming is at scale. You've got a lot of people that traditionally come to the programming, but your programmer may not be the best person for your curriculum, because the curriculum does require somebody that's got a teaching, background, or they've had enough experience in doing adult professional development and training to where they know how to take someone through a series of conversations, a series of lessons where they are going to walk away with a demonstratable skill. And then, of course, on the policy side, you're going to need someone who's going to be able to parse out how to uphold the essence of your equity policies, but also keep them in alignment with the school policies in various other areas. And then also know how to, assess when something actually hasn't violated a policy after getting further information. So equity work is important, and it's extremely organized. So we want to make sure we take the time to think about how are we structuring our offices and our people to deliver on our promises. And if your office isn't particularly organized in that particular way, reach out. We can definitely have a conversation to help and focus on that. But I think it's just important to understand, what is your office really trying to do from an equity standpoint? Is it really all about programming? Is it about curriculum? And whatever you care about, you have to be able to measure as well. So how are you going to find out if it's effective? So, okay, folks, have a great weekend. Happy Friday. And we'll see you on Tuesday, because it's a holiday. Hey, we'll see you Tuesday on the way to school. Thanks for joining me on the way to school. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making a difference. I'm Christopher S. Dennis. See you tomorrow.